You know why Allah tests us? Allah puts trial and tests on human life. If you are depressed, feeling loneliness, hardship in life, if your life is stuck somewhere, never be hopeless. Even every darkest night will end and the sun will rise. Remember, every test, every pause, and every quiet season has meaning. Allah's given trial are to prepare them for extraordinary purposes, even if few understand it. If you want to change your life, around your environment, with a happy life, keep listening the full video. It is going to life-changing story of your life. Why does Allah test us? What should our attitude should be when having a test from Allah? Allah clearly says in Quran that life is a test. It is He who created death and life to test which of you are best in deeds, for He is the Almighty, the Forgiving. Several religions preach that God always sends trials and testing as a form of punishment. They claim that experiencing adversity as illness or financial loss is a sign that somehow you have disrespected God. However, in Islam, this is not the case. There is no correlation between our present situation and the attitude of Allah towards us. For example, if a person loses his job, it doesn't mean that Allah is angry with him. On the other hand, if a person gets promotion, it doesn't mean that Allah is happy with him. Instead, Allah put us into these situations to see how we react to them. In the above Quranic verse, it is said that tests and trials are part of everyone's life. Each and every one of us will be tested to a certain extent so that Allah can determine who has true faith in Him. Hadith that shows 2 reasons a test may occur in someone's life. Prophet Muhammad said, "Nothing befalls a believer, a prick of a thorn, or more than that, but Allah will raise him 1 degree in status thereby, or erase a bad deed." In the above hadith, there are 2 reasons of tests which can happen with someone. In the first reason, Allah will test a person with something so that he has the opportunity to successfully go through the test with the right attitude. In addition, Allah will elevate his position in paradise. The second reason is that if a person has done something wrong and did not ask for forgiveness, instead of getting punishment in the hereafter, Allah will put him through something in this life. The punishment in this life would be nothing as compared to the punishment in the hereafter. Actually, this trial is a form of Allah's mercy. The Almighty puts us through trials to see if we would follow or reject His teachings. There are simple solutions to every problem, but there is always the possibility that those solutions are forbidden, immoral, or evil, and that choosing them implies turning away from Allah's teachings. Although the purer path may be more difficult, it is the one that will maintain us in His favor, which is why difficulties arise. What should be a person's attitude when he faces test or trial? Allah Almighty say in Quran, Allah does not burden a soul beyond that it can bear. In another surah, Allah tells us, perhaps you dislike a thing, and Allah makes therein much good. Allah will never put a person in hardship that he can't handle. While we are going through a trial, we become so focused on the trial that we lose sight of everything else. For example, if a person loses his job, he will start to focus on the things he does not have and forget the things that he has, for example, health, family, or, if nothing else, their faith. Rather than focusing on what we do not have, we should focus on what we have. This will allow us to stay positive about situations, and knowing that Allah will never give a person more than he can handle, this helps us keep everything in perspective. No matter what it may be, we should never lose hope, since we already know we will get through it, as long as we keep the perspective in mind that Allah will never give a person trial that is bigger than what they can handle. The rewards of the test are always greater than the test. Surely there is ease after hardship. Aye, surely there is ease after hardship. In this verse, Allah is reminding us that if we face each trial with the right attitude, it will lead to several rewards bigger than the trail itself. Keeping this in mind, it is much easier to maintain steadfastness in the face of hardships, knowing that Allah has promised us victory if we approach difficulties with a correct attitude. A perfect example of this verse is shown in the life of the Prophet. After preaching Islam for 13 years, there were only a small number of Muslims in the city of Mecca when the migration to Medina took place. 10 years later, the entire Arabian Peninsula had embraced Islam, and Prophet Muhammad was joined by tens of thousands of Muslims during his final pilgrimage to Mecca. Prophet Muhammad said, "Wondrous is the affair of the believer, for there is good for him in every matter, and this is not the case with anyone except the believer. If he is happy, then he thanks Allah, and thus there is good for him. If he is harmed, then he shows patience, and thus there is good for him. We should always keep this hadith in the forefront of our minds. In our lives, there are rarely any times where things are simply neutral. Mostly things seem to be progressing, or it seems that everything has turned against us. This hadith shows us the strength of our attitude, because our attitude shows Allah that we have faith in Him. We can change a negative situation into positive situation, and a positive situation into negative situation with the help of our attitude. Moreover, if the situations are not going right, but we remain steadfast and patient, Allah will bring some good from the situation, and things will eventually get better. This hadith gives us hope that Allah is with us no matter what the situation is. All we have to do is to keep a right attitude towards the situation and good faith towards Him. But we couldn't reach out the divine plan. The divine plan is best for us. So build a slow and steady engagement with the Quran by beginning to incorporate it into your daily life. Start gradually offering prayers on daily routine. If this message resonates with you, please like, share, and subscribe. Let's reflect on Allah's wisdom and find strength in the journey He has chosen for us. I encourage you to reflect in the comments below for further videos.